with 50 points off the track, baby.
In Japan, where the sun will always shine, traditions collide with the future's line. Through city streets and temples high, find your story beneath the sky. Wave scratch, walking out your sense, harmony flows to the best of lands. With the neon glow, where respect, the culture rich, where resistance in the monarch race. We'll dance the night with every star, a guiding light. In Japan, where the sun will always shine, traditions collide with the future's line. The cherry lanes and soaring heights, find your magic near the moonlit nights.
Alrighty, guys. We have something. I have an issue. Wonder why. Wondering why my camera. Sorry, I don't know why. There we go. Okay. Camera is now officially working. Now, of course, we've got a lot of things to talk about today. Major updates. And I will tell you, as we kind of get ourselves load in here, we have a couple of scenes here, guys. Couple of nicely good setup scenes. I probably only need to use one set, but I have built this around ets2, and we have two different sets of scenes. This is the first scene. This is where if we're driving, this is when we drive, we're pretty much, there's like no noticeable switch change. This is when we drive. This is when we're driving, so you guys can kind of see. As you can see, when we're not driving, or we're loading into, or not loading into a screen, we have this here as well, so that you guys can kind of see what we're doing. Now, of course, we are at 6,000. We are in Paris, France. Now I want to take basically price per distance. Now we know that this one here, I'm going to Dresden. We've been to Dresden. I wanna go down here where it's only 10-hour trip, because I don't have a lot of time. I'm gonna try to get off at 6. That's only 5 hours longer, but that's only like 4 hours longer, so I think I'll be okay. We're gonna. I always like to take the more cost-effective finding more cost-effective ways at doing things. Hold on, guys. Give me quite. Chat. I need to pop out chat for YouTube and stuff. And the things that we're going to talk about today are pretty much stuff that absolutely needs to be said and needs to be gone through. And it needs to be said that there are a lot of things that I really wanted to really come in and talk about. A lot of what's going on with LGBTQ community, Canada, not only talking about Canada and LGBTQ stuff, we are also going to talk about some things that are, I'm not a Canadian. I am an American. Technically Canada can be American if you are a Canadian, or you are somebody that's there, you can be considered American. Mexico is considered American. South America South America, Central America, and North America could all be considered American. And if you don't, they could all be considered that. Oh, woof! Did not see you there. Where there's this thing a lot in the issues of what's been going on, relating to the process of that. Also talking about a little bit about Russia. It's like, and then also talking about Trump's presser a little bit on that today, but mostly I am going to tell you See, I don't know why they have that there when instead they should have it on the other side. But I wonder if it's just naturally right there on the highway that they have it like that. It should be. If you're going in, you should have that there instead of going outward. But it's whatever. Um, that's just a small little gripe that I have with road design. We are having to. I don't get why ETS does not get a connection there. Um, like they don't have to. Yeah, but see, we also stopped there at a couple of those, so. Anywho. Oh. Okay. No, of course. Um. Of course, there's a lot of differences with a lot of the things that are going on, and maybe we'll get into some talking about some gaming stuff too, and other things. But mostly, those are the topics that we're going to get into. Um. Now that's proper. Now that's properly done right. Um. But there's a lot of things that go on within the world, and basically he was talking about, oh, the world wouldn't survive without the United States. Um, any for for me, um, actually surviving without the United States, the world can survive without the United States. It they can. It doesn't mean that they won't. That there might be some inherent issues without, like, Canada will survive. Canada's surviving without the United States. Canada's finding ways. Canada will find ways. It doesn't mean that Canada's not going to stop using the United States completely. It just means that, one of the things that Canada's doing is they have been boycotting America. They have been not coming to America because of Trump. If for me, I wouldn't boycott the United States. Okay, I would I I would not boycott Canada because of this. I would not boycott any other country's goods because of it. I would boycott goods that are necessarily if I find out that they're supporting um the non-LGBTQ supportive. If I find out about it, I'm not, like, if I was on my own, I would be conscious about where I buy my goods. I'd be conscious about a lot of things, because I'm not gonna go out there and buy everything. Sprints for joining the thanks Prince Sudas for joining the TikTok live thing. Thank you. Um, But I am one of those people that um that I end up supporting. Like, I don't listen to music because I don't listen to that artist. If I find out that they're LGBTQ, I stop listening to them. It's the only thing I do, because if I find out that they don't, that's the only time. Like, there are going to be times where there may be some artists out there that support, that do not, and I don't, and I'm not going after every person, everybody. Like I didn't like I stopped using Snoop Dogg stuff, but that doesn't mean I'm not gonna occasionally listen to it or boycott that radio station because they play Snoop Dogg or because they play an artist that no. I'm not gonna boycott things like that. I'm going to just not go directly listening to that music, not directly. I don't listen to rap in general, but I just liked the way Snoop Dogg was doing things. You know, I bought skins for Fortnite. I bought a lot of it. I don't. I don't because the whole point of it is I don't want to go out and purchase or buy um things that inherently. Now there are going to be times where food is very. I know I probably should have done better, but there are some things where if we find out that a fast food chain or a major restaurant chain like Chick-fil-A or something, those are the things that I boycott more than I boycott the food that I buy. Um, unless I finally blatantly find out that they are really bad and they're really a bad company and absolutely. But it's like I'm not gonna stop drinking Pepsi products or Coca-Cola products when they're almost all over the place. I do not drink Dasani bottled water anymore because I just find it doesn't taste right. It's not what it used to taste like for me. It's really I find that tap water is so much better. Really, I find that yes, tap water not be perfect for everybody, and having bottled water as a having bottled water as extra and making sure that we have some of those things. That's great. That's a great idea to have bottled water. That's a great place to keep those things and use it for when it's necessary. Like a, it's not safe to drink the tap water when it's not safe to drink things like that. But it's not safe to drink a lot of things. Now, of course, I'm gonna be working on um really? You're gonna have me go. You know what? I missed my turn. In real life, if I missed my turn for a job, I wouldn't be able to make this. It's like I won't go and support countries, specifically countries. I won't go support their place of business. If I am going to be able to be criminalized, being who I am, I'm not going to go and visit those countries. Edmonton, the the Edmonton process. I won't go and visit Edmonton ever because Edmonton is doing the same thing they're doing here in America for LGBT trans people specifically. And Canada is not. It's like yes. It's like I would would hope. I would hope that Canada and that they go and get sued because this is like you can be like for me like you have the religious freedom, okay, but if you are going to do a job that requires you to break your religious values, then you don't have to go and support that job. But let me be clear. There are going to be jobs out there that may break your religious boundary, because you work for the government, because you work for things like that. You have an alienable right to basically say, if you don't want to do something and you don't want to like yeah, we'll go over by one lane because it's up here. Yeah, alright, okay. um it's basically you don't want to I don't want to see people stop supporting the, like, if you're somebody that's a religious person, okay, and you don't want to help somebody because they don't drink alcohol. It's like in my church, like, I won't work in a business that sells alcohol. That's not true. I worked in a business that previously was working on to sell alcohol, and that's fine. Sometimes we have to make those sacrifices, and we might have, because there might be the only job in town that, that may not go with that may go against our right, and we should be able to follow, and we have to remember that you may not like to support the community because it goes against your right. Let me be clear, you can still go against the community. If you don't like it, you cannot support the community, but don't go out and alienate a gay person or alienate a person of gay for their rights to just exist. If you're gonna marry, if you are going to marry, you need to be able to marry anybody, because remember, marriage you shouldn't be forced to give up your you aren't being forced to give up your right to have the ability to worship the way you want. It's what I'm saying is that if you don't want to marry people that are of same sex, then don't have that job to do it. Don't do it if you aren't going to support it. Because I'm going to tell you, one of the things that I will always say to anybody watching, and anybody, it's like, yes, it's like, look, I go work at Hy-Vee, or I go work at Walmart, or I go work at these major retailers, because some people don't know. If you don't know what Hy-Vee is, it's a grocery store here in America that is a thing. And guess what? There are going to be times where there are going to be people in these businesses that are going to be basically taking the opportunity that there are going to be people there that end up buying alcohol, okay? And they're going to end up buying these things, or cigarettes, or things like that, that working in a place like that, it's like I worked at one of these establishments that do. But guess what? Sometimes we have to make those sacrifices because a business does not want us working, because the business wants us to work on Sunday. Sometimes we have to make those sacrifices because we are trying to find a job. We need to have that job. Working on Sunday. We might have to. And look, working on Sunday, I don't mind if I have to work on Sunday, but as long as I'm able to make the commitment to go to church, I that's all that matters to me, you know? I'm not somebody that as long as I'm able to make that commitment. Now I'll let them know that I'm not going to go and work on Sunday. I'm going to tell them I said I'm not going to work on Sunday if I don't have to. Okay? And if you want me to work on Sunday, I will work on Sunday. But I just need to be able to have the inalienable right to go to church and be able to make that right and be able to get that opportunity. But there are going to be times where businesses where you might have to make that decision that and you might have to work on Sunday. People work. People have to sometimes do their job on Sunday. It's like look, it's like I live stream on Sunday, but I live stream to make sure that I'm able to go to church first before I even live stream. That's why next year I will not be live in the afternoon on next Sunday. But that's only because I am what? Why is that there then? Is this for like a runaway truck or whatever? Okay, I'm gonna take this and see what's going on. Yeah, I was like confused. Like, why is that there at all? Okay. Well, so it's sometimes we have to do things that we might not want to do in life that may break our religious values. But if we, for example, if we say we don't want to marry same-sex couple, well, that's our choice, and we don't have to do that. We don't have to um, we don't have to follow that mentality ourselves. But we do have to make sure that we do follow the law. And if you follow the law of the land, and if the law of the land says you work in a place where you have to marry same-sex couples, you have to marry same-sex couples. It's the same thing. Same thing. It's like you follow the law, you follow it, you stick to it. You may not like it, you may not agree with it at church, but you have to make that decision that, and if you don't want to do it, then you don't go and work for these companies, work for the government, or work for these places. Then don't. You have every right to leave that job, to not work there if you feel unsafe and unwanting to work there. It's like me. It's like I didn't want to work at my last job because my last job was mostly because I didn't have time management skills. I will work for a company that there's two things that I'll always do. Is I will work for a company that gives me that has good time management skills, that has good skills at what they do for their job, and making sure that everybody has that time to do their job and do it right and do it properly instead of just not doing it right. You know, I am always that somebody that thank you guys for joining the TikTok live. I know it's hard for me to catch your name real quick, but guys, if you guys are enjoying today's stream, make sure you guys are followed. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Let me make sure that you guys can hear me properly because sometimes I may forget to do things. And I don't know if you guys can hear me well. Because you know, hug. Yeah, I always like to make sure that I within the red advanced audio. No, it's filters. Okay. There we go. Much better. I always had a 7% gain to all my stuff, and I know you guys can probably hear me better now. But I need to create I need to I need to get I need to work on getting the if anybody would like to help out by sending some goodies. You guys can help me out through my Ko-Fi account, there, which basically gives you guys access to helping me out, getting stuff for better equipment, which includes, getting an Elgato capture card, getting away from Razer, because Razer's being stupid. You know, I wouldn't give this Razer card to just anybody, though, for free. I would basically go and I would give it basically a $50, like, I basically would say, you know, I would still get rid of it, I would still sell it off if I sold it off to my best buddy Scarlett. I would make it like he'd be the only one that would get it, because he has a problem being able to get the content that is needed, and he's had a hard time trying to be able to do it himself. So this would help him out. This would allow for him to have better control over his PlayStation, better control of when you connect your mic to your laptop through this. You can have Discord open. You can use Discord through this. It helps to improve, and I would help him out with a lot of this. I would take that time. Once I do get the Elgato, I would go out and I would say go out and help him with this, get him set up so that he can do better streaming, so that he can have, you don't have, like I said, you guys don't have to have a camera to live stream. You don't have to have a camera to live stream. You don't have to have a beautiful mic setup to live stream everywhere. You know, it's one of those things where basically you want to make sure that everything that you do in live and everything that you do to set up for streaming, it's so simple, it's so easy to do. It's easy to stream. It is hard to get discovered. It is hard to go anywhere in life, and it's very hard to do a lot of things in this life. You know, I'll tell you, like, I am somebody that believes in loving and caring for the community. But it's hard. But it's hard when you have some set grounds and set values that, I'm somebody that I would, like, I'm not gonna take, like, if I use the product, I'm going to support that product. I'm going They want to support me for it, I will. Dude, it's like one of my favorite products of all time is Lenovo. I love Lenovo. Lenovo is one of those computer brands that I absolutely will stick by. That their laptops are fantastic. There are some brands that I would like to try out. I would love to start maybe taking in and looking at MSI and going with an MSI laptop. Finding a laptop that has that I can, finding ways that I can support that I find ways to advocate for Linux. Like, I've started advocating for Linux more than Windows because, most of the time I run Windows 11. I run that, and I don't run that anymore. I stopped running Windows 11 on my main computer because Windows 11 is being a dick about the stuff that they are doing. I am sick and tired of being forced to update my computer every time when there might be a problem with it. They should really, when there's notifications saying, "Oh, you only got till tomorrow to update your system." I want to be able to have a dedicated day where I just want to update my system one day a week, making sure that all my systems are running up to date, and I do it. I do constantly run update Linux. Vehicle crash offense. Really? Okay. That's really dumb. But thanks, user. Thanks, guys, for being here. I will tell you, like Euro Truck Simulator. They're a great company. They're ones that are really they have no competition. It's really reality. The Reality Kings is going to be some competition, and they're going to have to bring out Euro Truck Simulator 3 at some point. They're going to have to start maybe shifting and bringing out a new Euro Truck game. And bringing out a better American truck. Maybe start making a better game. We've got World of Trucks Australia. Or that there's an Australian game out there that they're doing for Australia. Like, they are taking in that competition. They're having some, but it's like this is the only game that's out there that gives you the opportunity to drive and take that opportunity to just drive and relax and listen to music or a podcast of your choice. And things, and it's one of those things that I always say, try out these games. If you guys, I will start telling you guys, if you want some free games, Epic Games. I have the Epic Games now available on my thing. If it's pretty much a single player game, you're most likely going to be able to run Linux and play Linux games through the ROG launcher. I tried installing Diablo 2. I could not install Diablo 2 because now they're requiring this 26 key encryption that I have a 16 key encryption, but they're not letting me install it that way. But I want to really come out and say that that you have plausible things and great things to come from Epic Games. Right now there's 2 free games. Makeway. If you haven't played Makeway and you are looking to play a game and have some fun with friends or have fun with me, you guys can go get Makeway for free. Go get it now before things run out, because I will be playing Makeway here soon. Again, one of those games that I absolutely love to dear. It's one of the best games in racing one of the best things that you guys can listen to and do a lot on. Um, and it's great to see indie games like that are much better. Like, that game is so much better than a lot of these major AAA games. Like, I find myself enjoying a lot more. I could have stayed straight and it would have worked. Cause basically, I just have to come out on the other end over here. But uh, oh, but I'm always one of those people that you don't have to go out and buy the fancy Nikes or the fancy Adidas or fancy products just to have a good outfit or good style. There are a lot of people out there that I look at it and I'm like, you don't have Nikes, you don't have Vans, but guess what? I look at your feet and I'm like, if your shoes look really nice on you and really nice for you, those shoes or those products, I'll tell you, you have great sense of style as long as you are doing fantastic, doing great. Yeah, see, I don't get it. It's like I always stay in the middle lane now because of that issue. Can we get gas up here? No. Oh. Um. Um. That's the closest thing that we're going to be able to get gas is there. But I'm pretty darn sure that yeah, I'm pretty sure if we do that, I think we will. Because I always forget gas. Gas is one of those things that I always forget sometimes. I forgot to grab gas before we left. So hopefully we can get to where I need to go, or North Rhine-Westphalia. No gas down in that area. So we'll just have to keep going. But it's one of those things where I always look at the process and look at all these things that are going on within the United States. And right now, one of the things today that really is a problem, that is really bad, and this is coming from somebody who happens to really this one I'm gonna think I'm gonna, yeah, because I'm gonna have to turn up here anyway, so we're over here. Okay. So it's one of those things where in real life I look at things and I look at things from real life and real life situations and things that are out there that go on, and and whatnot. And I know I'm kind of like lost in thought right now because trying to get, um, but within the United States right now, Trump had his presser. It's been a while since he's been out. It's like, he's like, oh no, that's all fake news or whatnot, and people are now like there's a video going on out there that basically there's somebody throwing something out of the White House, and it's like, okay, if it's AI generated, um, I would go through and put it in to an AI generator and actually ask it, is this an AI generated? Is this AI generated? And there's because there's going to be checks. There's AI is going to check it, and on all of this. So it's like AI is going to know what's right and what's being done. What's being done truthfully and what's being done um through it all. And so we don't know, but it seems like there was I didn't notice this because I'm not like actively watching every Midas Touch video. I'm not actively watching everything that Brian and these other people. Well, but they were talking about that it could have been Trump. Um and it really makes you think um what was really going on. Could it have been Trump and him having really bad dementia because or really being having a bad time? What was being thrown out? Um they say it was certain thing being thrown out. It's like what was being thrown out? What it's like this country. It's like Trump is has no they're lie. They try to find a way to lie. They try to find a way to not absolutely try to tell us the absolute. Try to find to not tell the absolute truth. Um, Trump is moving um, and and um, they're trying to Biden's removing Space Command now out of Colorado because he's enabled it 7 years ago. Well, when he was in office, so all it was done was that basically it was set into Colorado, and then it ended up not being the truth. Whoa. Can I go backwards so that nobody... If nobody's around, I usually do this. Um, but it's one of those things where I'm like, are you absolutely seriously not going to tell the people? Okay, so it looks like that's an exit only. So let's fill up on our fuel. Our fuel's gonna be expensive. And we get it at least less than 1,000, so I'm pretty sure we are getting better efficiency. Yeah, I was turning, you idiot. And my vehicle decided not to do it right. But whatever. And the guy just goes because it's like, and then we need to go to the nearest uh that's the only place that I could have rested there, but got about an hour. Um, that's 45. Um, we'll see. If we can go in that way. So I'm gonna mark it there. Remember, guys, if you guys are liking the stream and you guys are wanting to see more content, make sure you guys share, make sure you guys comment, and stuff. Um, now, it's one of those things where, and then and Trump wants, like the thing that I was talking about, how Trump is wanting to move the Space Force. Well, the Space Force is evidently is getting moved to Alabama. Is getting moved. You know, I'll just have to incur 1,000. You, you fudge. Hug. Cause we gotta take that photo. We gotta have our photo for the next episode. Um. So, and guys, the photos that I take for the thumbnails for each episode have been in previous episodes thumbnail, or have been a thumbnail previously taken for it all. So if you wanna know that this is a series, that this is something where do it that way. But one of those things that I do want you guys to know is him moving this Space Force from Colorado. He's basically doing it by it's politically motivated. Nope. I'm just gonna do it this way, cause that just. But yeah, I could have easily gotten gas there too. But I'm just hopeful that if I can get up here that I can go over to the thing. That's one of those things that I don't like about Eurotruck or Eurotruck in instances, is just not being able to go and get rest at a rest stop where, you know, there's, and it's like, if it's in real life, those should just be something that I think should be done in real life too, and not prevent people from, like, okay. But guys, like, there's these shoes that I'm talking about that yes, I still have. They still pop up in for you if you're watching on the Trovo stream. You guys can still, if you guys live in Europe, and you guys are able to live in Europe and you guys want some cool shoes, you guys can use Christian Satori. But if you're in the United States, guys, that where you can get 5% off. That 5% off, you're gonna be paying more for them. You might get that 5% off, and it's still great to get that 5% off, but you have to pay more for them to come into the United States now because of idiot Trump. On it, it's not like I don't want to do that. It's like I rarely will tell you that I don't actively promote products that are affected. Like I haven't actively sent out the email or the ad that I usually have for them, because it's not worth it anymore. I still have it there as if you guys want to do it. Do it, but if you guys still want to go out there and buy Christian Satori shoes, this is an independent Italian shop, so, you know, and I really don't. You guys really, that long name really screwed me up. But thanks. But thanks for joining. Like, I'm not gonna say your name. Not everybody's name's gonna get said. Yeah, that one was out of sheer. That's why I have that reload feature, is because if I catch chat or something, but we'll turn on my headlights, because I'm like, when do I need to turn on my headlights? That's the one thing that I don't understand. Is like it's still light out enough that I don't need my headlights on. Ay ay ay. Um. So I'm kind of like it's politically, the reason why he's doing it is all politically motivated by sending his Gestapo in the military, sending the military to places that shouldn't be sent. Um, he's sending, he's changing where the Space Corp is. It's gonna cost us more money now because he wants to do it. It's basically he's wasting money because he can't keep the money in check. He can't do things. Okay. Yep, there's no way I can make it to that one. See. Oh! Okay. That means now we're gonna have to go up this way and rest. Um, so it's one of those things where, you know, him by doing it, it basically says, oh well, because Colorado is completely mail-in voting. Um, no, it was not. First off, um, it's not completely mail-in voting. It's like Trump basically wants to get rid of mail-in voting, except for unless you're severely sick, and then even if you're severely sick, that's not gonna prevent them from denying you to vote because you're severely ill. Um, it's not gonna prevent somebody who is the only one that's gonna be more likely is the military because that's easily gonna be done, easily done right. But it's the people who are going to severely get sick who are going to face those problems. And that's not right. And he's basically, that's why it's all politically motivated. He doesn't like blue states. He really does. He really it's like the it's like the right does not like Um, yeah, I know. I didn't notice that you could, cause I thought you could go up to the top there and go get rest. But hey, we're out of debt now. Um, like I try my best to stay in and out of debt, but when you accidentally get having crashed or on things, but I will tell you, like, I'm somebody that if you are left or you are um right, it's like this is grossly inefficient. Okay, moving a space now if you wanted to say, okay, we're gonna have Space Force in Colorado, but then we're also going to build one in Alabama or whatnot, build one, then okay, that's a little bit different. That's it's not wasting our funds, but it really is grossly mismanaged. Trump doesn't care about. He wants to spend money. He wants to spend it. Like me, it's like sometimes like I would rather spend money than make money. Like if I didn't have, like, I want to be able to do that, but you can't. You have to, like you have to have the understanding of that. If you spend the money, you have to be able to make the money to be able to spend money. You can't just willy nilly not have a job and then go spend money like you want, because money doesn't grow on trees. Okay, money does not magically poof. Money's gone. You know, it's one of those things where I look across the things that Trump has done and the things that Trump has really gone gone out of his way to support Russia, gone out of his way to. No, okay. Ah. Alright. Okay, that's why. Are you. That means I would have to. We got a way to go. In a video game like that, I usually just go around it. Now, of course, I could actually, no, hold on. What I could have done is actively, go around this way. Okay? And then, but there's a thing right there that, yeah, so no, it's whatever. Ay, 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 ay. But it's one of those things where if Trump doesn't do what he's said that he's going to do, the things that um he hasn't done anything of lowering prices. He's only increased prices. He's only done things. Thanks, Major, for joining the TikTok live. Thank you, Major. Major Tom to ground control. I love that song by David Bowie. Mm. But it's one of those things where um oh flip. um but after I'm done today, I'm gonna upload Parkitect. I gotta upload that too. I keep forgetting sometimes to where I just forget to upload or forget to go live sometimes. But I gotta upload it. I gotta be more proactive about it. I'm just lazy. So now I made a speeding offense. Please tell me. Okay, so that means um it's only for that small portion there though. Um so actually um so then we go up here. Um I have it bookmarked, but we will see how things go. Um yeah, okay. Alright. Fair enough. Okay. So since we know that's there, I just wanted to see if I could go around, and it would stop me from doing that, but no. So it's gonna have me go that way. We're gonna go this way. So we will see how far, see if this will hinder our process. Not hamburger. And then we have to go and rotate around the highway. And then we go and rotate around. So, and then there's this thing. Sorry, then I got myself distracted a little bit there too. And then there's also this thing with Russia, where they basically stopped the GPS signal for the European consulate, which could have killed the European consulate thing. And if they would have done that, I am pretty sure Europe would be at war with Russia. But it's only a rumor. I don't know I don't know if that would absolutely 100% fall into the line of. of truthfulness. But Russia trying to do that right there kind of makes me wonder. Yep. Yeah, so just say I had an accident there and I just had to go around and figure things out. Um, but I'll tell you, I'm one of those people um, that the thing is that the more so so it's just ridiculous what's going on. It's just I am just thank you guys for being here. Thanks for all the 5 viewers. Remember guys, if you guys are watching through TikTok, through Trovo, through YouTube, make sure you guys are followed, subscribed. Remember, subscribing is free on YouTube, not on TikTok. I mean Trovo. Trovo is not free. If you want to follow on both TikTok and Trovo, it's free to do so. No need to spend your hard-earned cash. And if you guys are enjoying these streams, make sure you guys hit that like. Currently, our itinerary. We're going to Dresden, Denmark, if I'm not mistaken, or Dresden, Germany. Um, Currently, right here is where we're headed. Um, Thanks, Sparkly Plays. Thank you guys for joining. Remember, we talk politics here in the afternoons. We talk politics on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays when there's some important stuff going on. But but we only do it on those days. We don't do it anywhere else. Um, for it. We so occasionally we'll do it at night. But night streams, guys. We do Save the World at night. Um, we do Save the World from Fortnite. I'm getting our free V-Bucks. Then we also not only do that, we also do Call of Duty, and Fortnite, pretty much, and it's every day. Um, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays, typical other Fortnite games other than Save the World. Save the World's pretty much every day. And then Saturday, and then the Friday to Monday night, pretty much those nights, those are all for Call of Duty. 2 nights of zombies, 2 nights of multiplayer. So zombies are on Friday and Monday. Saturday and Sunday are multiplayer or Warzone or zombies. I'm working on camos, so but mostly it's supposed to be multiplayer. So if Scarlet and Glass get on right away, then I won't play zombies. If they don't get on right away, then I will play multiplayer. Then I'll go and play zombies if they don't get on right away. If they do, then we play multiplayer. We do custom games. We do a lot of games. We do a lot of Linux gaming too. We are absolutely fully supportive. I fully support gaming on Linux. We do Linux gaming. We use Bazite. It's one of the best distros. There are plenty of distros out there that are great for you. Any distro can run, but having something dedicated to running CachyOS might be something. You know. Um, So, and we do this every day, Monday through Friday, um, in the afternoon, Saturdays and Sundays until 2026. Um, we do, um, in the afternoons for now, unless job changes that I haven't applied. I need to apply for a couple check on my job thing. I didn't check it all since Tuesday or whatever. I forget. Um, but on a couple of jobs that I applied for. Um, Now one of those things that I do want you guys to know is that um, that I am out here, and I will tell you, I am absolutely somebody that supports the ability to do that and give you guys news and content and maybe occasionally some horrible takes in Call of Duty where I am not great. Um, yeah, I didn't see you there. Didn't get vehicle crash though, so um, but we typically do Monday through Friday, typically is from 3 to 5:30. And occasionally till 6. If I'm out at 4, it's usually till 5:30, 6. But we do that. Saturday we do the same thing. And Sunday. But we have particular games that we play. Like I know I'm repeating myself, but hey, we do it typically. We play Call of Duty. Not Call of Duty. We typically play Architect Sunday and Monday, Euro Truck Tuesday, Wednesday, American Truck Thursday, Friday, and Saturday is one of those 3 games. If Barnacle Nerdgasm from Barnacle's Nerdgasm or Tech Talk is not available, If Tech Talk is not available, then I will be on that day for it. But if Barnacles is on, I usually work around him on a Saturday. It's the only time I do. Every other day I just live stream wherever because I have a particular way I do things. And stuff. But then at night, guys, night streams are pretty much 9 till 2, except for Saturday. Saturday's 9 to 1. Next year will be 9 till 2 every day. Because I don't have to get up till for church, and I don't have to. Right now church goes from 11 to 1, I think, or it goes from 11 to 1, and so church next year will be at 1:30. So it'll allow for me that I can get up at a decent hour. I can get up at 11:12. I can get up at 12 o'clock, and I can go to church, and then it's from like 1:30 to 3:30. So I may be on Sundays, but in the afternoons. But I am going to take maybe that time to take it off and not be on. Whoa, hello. Dead drop, gorgeous. This looks nice. I want to take a picture of that. So there's a lot of let me go check bank real quick. Okay. And we're still having to pay 50, so there's a lot of things that are just crazy, you know. And it's like you talk about, the other thing I wanted to talk about, it was Canada today. Um, and this one, there's a couple of things. If you haven't seen Charlie Angus's video, go look at Charlie Angus's video today. Um, but if you go to Canada right now and you go to Edmonton, you are pretty much, if you are transgender, you're not gonna be able to live in Edmonton. They're pretty much royally screwing you over. Canada's not safe for trans people right now. That's why I haven't really actively wanted to go. But I think if Canada really stepped the ball and basically said, that LGBTQ people are to be protected at the federal level for them, I would say, okay, yes. Burning books or preventing children from having access to puberty blockers, like I said in my other video yesterday in Sunday stream, it's one of those things where, um, where for me, I want to reiterate something that yes, I may have changed my stance a little bit on something, but I will tell you, it's like I want trans kids to be able to have the access that they deserve and the access that they need. I want kids to be able to get the things that they need. I want trans kids to basically, if you're under the age of 12, requiring them to go to therapy until they're 12 years of age, or 2 years, whichever is greater. Um, whichever is greater, and that's my stance on that. And then once they are 12 years of age, they can receive the puberty blockers. They can receive the hormone therapy that they deserve if they want it. For only for kids though. And then once you turn 18, 16, I would allow you at 16 to have the surgery with parental consent, but you have to have parental consent for that one. You don't have to have parental consent if you want puberty blockers or you want for. But until you're 18, because you can still have the opportunity to not. Thanks, Coach EPO, for joining. It just means that as soon as you turn 18, you don't need to. You have enough understanding. You might not have enough understanding, but I would still maybe require a maybe I would require at least 6 months for an adult, for them to have that surgery, or for them to have the access to the puberty blockers and things of all the drugs that they need to do it. But at a child's age, puberty blockers will prevent them from hitting puberty. It's not like it's gonna stop them from growing from it. But I would basically say that the reason why I say that if you turn 12, I would even maybe go at 11, where a child can go and get them as long as they have parental consent, from a parent if you're under the age of 12, because people need to understand that at any age, um, nothing is you once you get a tattoo, your tattoo it's hard to remove it. Once you get something, most of the time it's hard to. Once you get something that's permanent, you can't. But you can change the course of your puberty blockers. You can reverse the course on the hormone therapy, because trust me, a a man who is in his 20s, 30s, having to get testosterone, it is gender affirming care, but it's to help give them safe and the opportunity to have them be safe. Whereas if somebody is uh getting it to change to cross hormones, then it's still safe as well. To me, you're still safe. It's still safe for it too, because sometimes men might have to take the female hormone just to balance out the testosterone a little bit. Just because they're producing too much testosterone with that, so that it's not. It's like they're it's not like actively an issue for it's not a problem with the trans commun with it's not actively a problem if um if a woman takes testosterone, if the man wants to take the estrogen and take the cross hormones, because it's not. It's like you can still reverse that. It's like you're taking drugs for so long, you can get off of that. Your body can adjust, where your body cannot adjust if you alter your body to basically remove certain bodily functions. So you can change things that way, and that's something that I'm just saying the having being at 16, getting the surgery at 16 with parental consent makes it safe. And and that to me, um we're gonna do the fuel now, because I want to make sure that we have good fuel. We have enough um live 9 to 2025. All right, guys. That is going to be it for me for the day, though. If you guys would like to know a lot on the issue and the issue on Canada, I'm going to finish this up real quick. In Canada, they are preventing in Edmonton, right as I expected, they are preventing a child from having any. They're preventing any minor from receiving the care. They're basically preventing it. They're wanting to prevent trans women from playing in sports. Remember, if a child, okay, is a if a trans person transitions before starts takes off the puberty blockers, and starts the hormones before for first puberty, they're going, like I said, they're going to always be closer to the cis counterpart of a woman. Okay, if a trans man, if a man transitions to a woman and they haven't hit first puberty, they're going to be closer to trans woman. If a trans woman transitions to a man, a cis man, they're going to be transitions to being a man. They're going to be closer to their male counterparts. It does not mean that they're perfectly at anything. Doesn't mean that necessarily not everybody if you've gone through second puberty, you're still going to be closer to your counterpart of a woman with maybe a little bit more advantage than if you didn't do it your second transition. Uh, First transition is going to be a little bit easier than your second one, your second puberty, pretty much, because you don't have to deal with all the extra problem, and that. So that's where I kind of stand on this. Is like surgery is irreversible. Hormone replacement therapy is. It's easily more replaceable than a transitional period. If you transition from a man and to a woman, and you want to get that surgery, guess what? That surgery is not going to be able. You're not going to be able to get what you had back by doing that. It's just basically, you know, if you are trans, making sure that if you're under the age of 18 and making sure that you have at least the minimum of 2 years, if 2 years, for it, unless you are, a, unless you're under the age of 12, basically you will go until you are 12 years of age, or until, for therapy, or 2 years, whichever is greater. So if you start wanting to transition and you're at 11, you still have to have, if you're under this certain age, you have to have at least 1 year, minimum to, before they can start the puberty blockers. Um, they have to at least go for 6 months before they can use the puberty blockers. 6 months to a year, and then they can start that. And then if they want to get the hormones, they can go for a year. If not, then they can. If they don't want to do it, then they don't. But if you go down the path, once you transition, you cannot, like for me, you cannot change back. In a lot of things and stuff. So, I just want to make sure that people, that's my stance on this. Still allowing for trans people to play in sports of their designated sex. I agree with that. Opting kids into having sex ed, I don't. I would just let it go, because a child at 12 years of age, they're going to be curious, and they're going to find that curiosity. At 12 years of age, that child is still going to need that sex education. And I don't care if it's trans education. I don't care. They need to be taught, and we need to be teaching it, because if we don't, kids are going to be not knowing what to do. Like, they don't do that. Like, it's very difficult in Japan for them in Japan to get people. They're a dying population, and so we need as a thing to teach that, so that maybe and learn to understand that. And it doesn't need to have parental consent for it, because that is something that, if it's taught in school, a school should be able to have that inalienable right to teach. It doesn't matter, like, if you can't, like, if you have a religious objection to something because it goes against your religion, you need to learn about other people's life and other people's viewpoints, and being able to make sure that they have that right view. So, anyway, but guys, make sure you guys are followed, make sure you guys are subscribed. Remember, if you subscribe on YouTube, it's free. Make sure that when you subscribe, you hit that bell notification with the all, because you aren't going to get updated. And then also make sure that if you guys are hitting that all, You'll get at least most of those notifications out and about. If you guys do not have that notification turned on, and personalized, it's fine. If you don't want the notification, you can turn it off too and come back at the designated time frame for it. But hey, if you're on Trovo, hitting that follow will get you notified when I do go live, if you have the app installed. And then if you're on TikTok, of course, you will be able to do that as well. But remember, if you subscribe on Trovo, you do get emotes, you do get cool things, cat emotes and stuff that will get put into over on the YouTube side when it's able to. So anyway, we will catch you